Baruch atah Asherah, Anat Melecha Ha'olam, Asher Kiddushani b'mitzvotav v'tzivani lehitattiv l'tzitzit. Hello, Mia. How are you? Nice to see you. How are you doing? So I am back this week, and we will do the things that we always do. We will say the Shema and the Vahafta, and we will read from the Descent of Inanna, and we'll say Arati and Kaddish. Hello, Ken. Good morning. We'll start with some very old words from the book of Deuteronomy that sound like this. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Dawei Echad Vahafta et Anat Elohecha ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר נחי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. וחיה, כי הביאך אלוהיך, אל הארץ אשר נשבע לאבותיך, לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב, לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית, ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר לא מילאת, ובארות הצופים אשר לא הסתת, כערים בזיתים אשר לא נתת, והלכת ושבת. ישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר תישך, מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. I'm so glad you're here again too, Miss Press. Yeah, I had to take last week off because I had to travel for a surgery consultation. It was quite a big deal. But I'm very glad to be back. Kiara, the language is Hebrew. Yes, Courtney. That's the goal. That is always the goal. Trees everywhere. Fractal branching everywhere. How are you doing today? What are you up to on this Tuesday? I love that you are stretching to this stream. I should do some more stretching. My partner is traveling, and so I'm less motivated to stretch without them, but so it goes. Very welcome, Mitchie. Michelle Mitchie. That's the goal. Bring peace to the morning. Bring a little sense of ritual and repetitive meaning to the world. Good morning, Huda Binte. That's my job to pronounce your name right, Kiara. And sometimes I mess up on my job. You know, there are some people who are better at my job than me. They have higher paying positions, but it is my job to give you my attention and show that I see you. So I ought to be able to pronounce your name right. Sometimes I mess up, but I'm glad I didn't this time. I've missed you too, raw data input. Everything is fine, Miss Priss. Everything is totally fine. Getting ready for more art classes. Are you teaching art classes or are you taking art classes? I've been really well. Oh, yeah, I've been better in the month of January than in a long, long time. Thank you, Huda Binte. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've turned a bit of a corner, I think. And more changes to come. You changed your hand. It was Taryn. Well, hi, Taryn. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, Otter. But here we are now. Here we are now. How do you pronounce your last name? Kaddish. Comes from the Semitic root QDS, KDS, related to words like Kaddish, or Kadosh, or Kadeshah, or Katesh. We'll go over them when we say Kaddish, right? Kaddish is a prayer of grief. But yes, I am lucky enough to have a partner with a last name that means holy. And I took her name because it's a very good name. You're not feeling well, Huda Binte. I'm sorry. New energy on me. Yeah, I suppose that's true. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks, Say Manners. Hi. Go do something more important than watching a live stream. I'll be thinking of you. You got fired from your job and it's been a blessing in disguise. Time to evolve and heal. Well, that is a fantastic attitude. Good morning, Avi. You changed your profile picture. How are you doing? I have 2 partners, Huda Binte. You still have stuff to work on, but you like to send some photos you developed with film. Yeah, post them on the Discord. I would love to see them. So, I think it's time to read a story. We can continue with the descent of Inanna. Where we left off, what happened where we left off? I believe Inanna passed through all the gates and got naked. Yes. Oh no! We haven't gone through the gates. Wait, have we? No, it's been a while since I was reading this to you. I think we're going to go back. So last thing I absolutely remember reading was that Inanna's friend went around to all of the gods and said, don't let Inanna die. If she doesn't come back, you have to resurrect her, okay? And most of the gods were like, pshaw. But Enki was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Go, Ninja Bro, don't worry about it. I got this. My trip was great, Batya. I saw an old friend of mine, and she's a plastic surgeon at the hospital that I went to, and she introduced me to the doctor that I'll be getting surgery with, and it was a very good trip. It was a fantastic trip. Post eventually. Good morning, Jada. How are you doing? What are you up to today? Huda Binte, if you are strategic in your exploration of my channel, you will find them. You can figure out who they are. One is more publicly visible than the other. You know, they tend to be fairly private people, but they are on my TikTok page, so you can find them if you look. It's not that hard. Jada, you know, I don't think I've ever asked you, what is your job? What do you do? I'm very curious. Thanks, Huda Binte. Anyway, so Ninshibor goes to Enki and is like, well, if Ishtar dies, will you resurrect her? And Enki's like, yeah, I'll do it. Don't worry. You're in communications. That is so pleasantly vague. No, I mean, I think I know what that means, but maybe I don't. Am I in communications? I certainly do a lot of communicating. So, in this next section, we will read how Inanna is forced to strip all of her clothing off in order to enter into the land of the dead. So that's what we will read now. I try. I certainly try. When Inanna reached the outermost gate of the underworld, she knocked with firmness, speaking in an unrelenting tone. "Gatekeeper, you must open this door. Hear me, Nettie, you must open this door. There are none others accompanying me, for I will come through the gates alone." The chief gatekeeper of Kor, Nettie, queried, "Who goes there?" She replied, "Inanna, the Lady of Heaven, headed for the east." Nettie raised his voice and replied to her, "If you are truly Inanna, Lady of Heaven, going to the east, why do you travel the path from which none ever return?" Inanna said in reply, "It has to do with Ereshkigal, my elder sister. For Guglanana, her husband, the Bull of Heaven, has met death, and I have made the journey to be present at his funeral. May the beer at his funeral rites be poured within the cup. Amen." Seems like a little thin excuse. It's only in this version, anyway. Then Nettie spoke, saying, "Then wait here, Inanna. I will convey this to my lady and pass your message to her." Kor's gatekeeper, Nettie, proceeded into Ereshkigal's palace. Raising his voice to speak to the lady of the underworld, he said, "My lady, standing outside your gates of your palace is a maiden. She is statuesque like the heavenly sky, buxom as the earthly hills, with a fortitude matched only by the foundation of a city wall. She collected the 7 arts, gathered them into her hands. With the arts then she began to make herself ready. Setting the prairie tiara, the shugara, on the crown of her head, and upon her forehead she composed the dangling dark curls. Then about her neck she clasped the gracile lapis lazuli beads, allowed the twin-stranded necklace to drape upon her breast. Then, encircling her body by enwrapping it in the imperial robe, she painted her eyes with the cosmetic, 'May he come,' clasping about her chest the blessed plate, 'May man arrive,' slipping on her wrist the golden bracelet, then grasped within her hand the lapis lazuli measure and cord. And after Ereshkigal had heard everything he had spoken to her, at once biting her lip and slapping her hands against her thighs, pondered the matter deeply and considered it carefully, saying, 'Now listen to me, Nettie, you who act as my chief gatekeeper of Kor. You will do this. Lock every one of the underworld's 7 gates, then open each one of them in turn, but open it only just a crack. Allow Inanna to come in, but as she does, take off her royal finery. Make it so that the divine priestess of heaven comes in humility, naked.' And Nettie listened to and sought to obey his queen's commands, and thus he locked every one of the underworld's 7 gates. Opening the first gate, he said to the girl, 'You may enter, Inanna.' She proceeded forward, but as she passed through the first gate, he forcefully took from her head the prairie tiara, the shugara. Inanna asked him, 'What are you doing?' And he replied to her, 'Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them.' Opening the second gate, he said to her, 'You may enter, Inanna.' She proceeded forward, but as she passed through the second gate, he took from her neck the lapis lazuli beads. Inanna asked him, 'What are you doing?' And he replied to her, 'Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them.' Opening the third gate, he said to her, 'You may enter, Inanna.' And she proceeded forward, but as she passed through the third gate, he snatched from her breast the twin-stranded necklace of beads. And Inanna asked him, 'What are you doing?' And he replied to her, 'Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them.' And opening the fourth gate, he said to her, 'You may enter, Inanna.' And she proceeded forward, but as she passed through the fourth gate, he tore from her chest the armor breastplate, 'May man arrive.' And Inanna asked him, 'What are you doing?' 'Breastplate removed, breasts bare.' And he replied to her, 'Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them.' Opening the fifth gate, he said to her, 'You may enter, Inanna.' And she proceeded forward, but as she passed through the fifth gate, he savagely ripped the golden bracelet from off her wrist. And Inanna asked him, 'What are you doing?' And he replied to her, 'Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them.' And opening the sixth gate, he said to her, 'You may enter, Inanna.' And she proceeded forward, but as she passed through the 6th gate, he snatched from her hand the lapis lazuli standard and cord, and Inanna asked him, "What are you doing?" And he replied to her, "Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them." Opening the 7th gate, the final gate, he said, "You may enter, Inanna." And she proceeded, but as she passed through the 7th gate, he hotly grabbed and tore off the imperial robe from her body, and naked Inanna asked him, "What are you doing?" And he replied to her, "Speak not, Inanna. The underworld's practices are faultless. You must never think to question them." Now, both bare naked and humiliated, Inanna thus entered the throne room, and Ereshkigal arose from her throne. And when Inanna took a step forward, moving the throne, the Anuna, the underworld's judges, first encircled her, then judged her. Ereshkigal fixed to Inanna the death eye. She too pronounced the word of doom. She made against her the declaration of guilt, and then beat her. Thus Inanna's form became a listless carcass, a slab of rancid flesh. This was then taken and fastened to hang on a hook upon the wall. And with that, we will conclude our storytelling for today. Not a very pleasant image, right? Like some BDSM dungeon scene. You have to pass through 7 gates, and then you get beaten and whipped by the Queen of Death. It's like a scene out of some old pornography. In any case, we'll find out what happens to her tomorrow. She does get resurrected. Huda Binte, there is a video in my archive about my room. I think I posted it last June, which does a pretty good job at getting thorough shots of all of the different angles of things that you can look at in this space. So you could go check that out if you are curious. Yeah, it's a rough moment for Inanna. But, if you want to get resurrected, first you have to die. And, dying after being stripped naked is, it's just par for the course. It's just how it goes. No, I really love that story because it's so different. It's just so different from all of the modern mythology that people are exposed to. It's not like anything that you see in the Bible. Right? There's no mention of female nudity in the Bible. Any mention of female sexuality is just labeled as bad. So, here we are, watching as history changes and the stories we tell ourselves evolve. And sometimes there's merit to going back to the very beginning of storytelling and seeing what the first stories we told were. This is one of the oldest stories that has ever been written down. It's about 4,000 years old. It's pretty good. So, now we will say Arati. The word Arati means flame in Sanskrit, so here we have our flame. Just to scare Abby with. It's the only reason why it's here. It's nothing to do with symbolism and representation of the energies of life or anything like that. It's just to scare Abby. So, hey cat. Hi cat. How are you? You can't see my cat. No, I'm not Hindu, but I have been exposed to my fair share of Hindu theology and liturgy. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I grew up listening to this prayer. So that is the main reason why I say it every day. Jaya Jaya Arati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jaya Arati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Ramanita Chora Jaya Jaya Arati Venkantaramana Venkantaramana Sankatarana Sitarama Radhe Shama Jaya Jaya Arati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sada Shiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jaya Arati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jaya Arati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jaya Arati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jaya Jaya Arati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sankaracaya Sankaracaya Advaita Guravi Jaya Jaya Arati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jaya Arati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jaya Arati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shirama Priyaye Jaya Jaya Arati Ayapa Samine Ayapa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jaya Arati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jaya Arati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Grubho Namaha Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Natatra Suyobati Natanjakara Tamne Mavadyobati Kutayamagni Twameva Bandhavandi Sarvam Tasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Yange Kayamane Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhikaveri Hiya Namastitam Namo Namaha Twameva Mata Chapita Twameva Twameva Bandusha Saka Twameva Twameva Vidya Javinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmadava Prakrite Sabhavad Karomi Adyad Sakalam Parasmahi Narayana iti sarmar payami Sarvadhamam pravichayam amikam sarvanam braja Aham sva sarvapapayo mokshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these I dedicate to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the rose, Teresa. I appreciate that. Klee, the language is Sanskrit, and it's actually fairly easy to understand, right? Jaya means praise, or just means Jai, it's like hooray. And then Arati is light, or flame, and then the remaining syllables are the names of gods, like Hanuman, or Dattatreya, Sankaracharya. I mean, those are mostly gurus, but, holy characters, shall we say. So praise the stories, the old stories that, have helped people, our ancestors, live their lives. Bhatia, Reiki is interesting. If you look in the discourse of the development of modern Western science, you see there's a lot of debate, particularly around the time of Newton, about action at a distance, whether action at a distance was possible. Right? And some people thought that action at a distance was not possible. But then we developed field theory in order to create a framework for understanding how things could act on each other from far away. Reiki is funny, right? I think there are certain explanations about the way that Reiki works that, were I to look at them in any detail, I would feel the need to reject them. Causal explanations about, vibes or energy frequencies or things like that. But my mother is a touch healer. She's some sort of witch. I have witnessed throughout my life firsthand, many times that people are able to heal one another, and genuinely improve each other's health and well-being, even if they cannot provide a causal explanation for what they are doing. Right? And part of me is still a scientist, right? I want to have solid causal explanations for what's happening, and I am not satisfied by supernatural explanations. But like, I have no doubt that Reiki as a practice has helped people. I do have many doubts about the causal channels, like how exactly Reiki helps people, like what is actually happening. Like, I think it's largely psychological. I think it's largely about your personal interaction with the person that you are healing, or the person that is healing you, and the kind of trust that you have in them, and the sense of care. So by all means, like, try. Learn what you want to learn. Practice what you want to practice. I hope you get good at it. Did I heal someone? I've healed people. Yeah. I know how to touch a body. My mother gave me a reasonable intuition, right? So, I mean, there are certain things that I do not know how to heal. Most things I don't know how to heal. And, like, the word heal is a little bit tricky, but I can correct some simple muscular imbalances with touch. I'll say that. Yeah. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? How are you feeling? So, one more prayer for you today. Look at this cat. You can't see this cat. Can I show you this cat? She's so great. Maybe you can't see her. Where is she? Seizures. But otherwise good. Seizures run in my family too. They frighten me. Like, I don't have it strongly enough to know much, but I do believe I've had at least once. And it was very scary. Can't imagine what it would be like living with chronic seizures. My aunt does. You do. Changes your life. Why haven't I been posting? That is an excellent question with an unfortunate answer. The unfortunate answer is that 9 years ago, I made a commitment to write a PhD dissertation, and I've been working at it for 9 years, and I realized that if I didn't focus all of my energy on it, I would never finish it. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm writing a dissertation. It's very tedious and unpleasant, and stressful, but that's what I'm doing, and that is why I'm not making TikTok videos, but I'm still streaming. No, I cannot help with plantar fasciitis. Your brain fries where your clock is and you can see through time? You're Brian. Brian fries. Brain flies. Good old doctorates. Yeah, we should talk. Message me on Discord. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts. You're Brian. Yes. Good old Brian. Doesn't always behave. Sometimes makes you shake and quiver. So it goes. Everyone has it. Yeah. Some more intensely than others. What? Deja vu is a seizure? What do you mean? You'll have to tell me later. Imagine that, like 10,000. Huh. So it just feels like you're living the same moment over and over and over again. Wow. It's a small mini seizure and everyone experiences it. What makes it a seizure? Like, because it's a neural hiccup? Right? Like the neurons fire in a fuzzy way? Thanks, Amazing. So hi.
Hi.
Would you like to say Kaddish with me?
I guess so.
How was your meeting?
It was fine.
Look at this cat.
Yeah, she's really cute.
She's really cute.
I have to go feed that other cat soon.
Because you're so good and kind. The electricity goes bzzzt.
Uh-oh.
Sarah has seizures. Can we see her?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You don't have to.
I know, but,
It's very difficult to
Give the people what
fit
they
two
want.
people onto a vertical video. You have to
Hello.
like snuggle. There. Here we
Hello.
are.
Come here, cat.
Cat. There, you can see the cat. Where's the
Can
cat?
you see the cat?
Yeah, there's the cat.
Oh, yeah.
That's Mama Cat.
Hi, sweet baby.
Sarah says ah, and Huda Binte says hi.
Hello.
And your mom is in that one.
Probably.
She'll see you and she'll be like, oh, so nice to see you.
Oh.
Look at this cat.
She's perfect.
She is perfect. Yeah. Sarah likes your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
It's a compliment machine. I come on here every day and receive compliments. It's very nice. Yeah, so we're going to say Kaddish because it's good to mourn a little bit every day. That way it doesn't build up and you don't have I don't know, a swelling of grief.
You probably will anyway.
That's true.
If somebody close to you.
If somebody close to me died, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's still good practice.
yeah, you practice grieving so that you know how to do it with your friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hid kadal, vid kadash, shemei rabba, bi'alma divrach yirte, v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye de kol beit Israel, bagala uvizman kariv v'imru, amin. Yehi shemei rabba miva'arach li'alam almei almaya, yitbrach v'ishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei de kudasha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, diamiran bi'alma v'imru, amin.
Oh,
Say shalom bimramav, huya asay shalom, aleinu v'yachol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimramav, huya asay shalom aleinu, v'yachol Yisrael, v'imru, v'imru, amen. That's it. Close the book. Blow out the light. Take off the shawl.
When I went to my grandmother's 90th birthday this weekend,
Uh-huh.
I wore my nice coat,
Yeah.
which I don't think I had worn since my grandfather's funeral,
Mm-hmm.
and I found a copy of the Kaddish in my pocket,
Yeah.
and then I put it back.
Yeah, it's good to keep a copy of the Kaddish in your pocket.
Yeah.
Grief instructions, whenever needed.
Yeah, you know.
What does it mean? So the funny thing, Huda Binte, is that the Kaddish doesn't actually mean what it means. Like, if you read the English translation, it's just like, God's really great. He's so great. He's the king. He's really great. He's really good. You should praise him because he's powerful and strong and, you know. And somehow that, like, culturally turned into a prayer of grief, right? And, like, contextually, it's about mourning for the dead, right? You say the words for the dead. But I
The
don't...
words aren't,
No, the words don't
you
mention
died
death.
and we appreciated you.
No, yeah, the words have nothing to do with that. Which I think is just so interesting, right? Like, that's what prayer can do. Like, its meaning is extremely flexible, depending on how you use it. So, that's why I say it. Okay, I'm gonna go. That was a little beep. It says I have another appointment, so I'm gonna go to my other appointment. But, hi, Kimmy! I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow. It's really nice to see you. Yeah, I should go. But I'll see you all tomorrow to do this whole thing over again. And it'll be a nice time. Yeah, I'm in a great mood.
Yeah, she has a good smile. It's nice to see it.
Okay, friends. I'll see you later. Bye.